Hello and welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment today we are going to discuss about the surrender of the Dima National Liberation Army. This topic is important from the perspective of the prelims examination and also from the perspective of GS Mains Paper 1, 2 and 4. So let's begin with the different topics that we are going to discuss in this segment. These are the various topics that we are going to discuss step by step. Let's start with the news. Now in the beginning only I just give you an idea about the surrender. The surrender has been done by the 46 cadres of the Dima National Liberation Army along with its chief commander. Now all this has been done because of an agreement that was signed prior to it. Why this is very significant for the Indian polity? Because at the time of many insurgent groups joining the mainstream politics for better diplomatic purposes, this is a step in the right direction for giving an impetus to the peace process of Assam. Let's now know about the background of it. Now, as you can see, this is a tweet by the Chief Minister of Assam, and he said that giving impetus to giving a boost forward to the process of peace in Assam as per the vision of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, the Chief Commander, Mushrang, along with the 46 other cadres have laid down their arms. Now, what included in the arms were AK-47 as well as M16 or M16. And the DNLA has come over ground today because they were either eloping or they were underground. Their network is generally underground. And that was in Khepre, that is 95 kilometers from Haflong, Dima Hasao, and with 46 cadres in presence of Shri Debolal Garlosa. Garlosa joined the mainstream politics in the year 2012. And he was also among the very significant leaders of the separatist group because they were asking for a separate state. Many states that we see in the northeast do ask for separate states. We will analyze that as well. In the sense that I will just tell you the causes, major causes of it. So as you can see, this map is showing you here where they actually resided. So this is Dima Hasao and the Dima people. Okay, they are found in the northern Kachars, Dima Hasao and also Karbi Anglong. They are also found in Nagaland and Assam. It could be a prelims question that the Dima people are found in Assam only. No, they are found in Nagaland also. They reside in Nagaland also. Now let's move forward and talk about the militant group and how they have surrendered. So, insurgency by Karbi and Dimasa group or Dima group. It peaked mid-1990s. There was a huge peak and they asked for separate state, and it was rooted in the core demand for statehood. Why any state, any ethnic group will ask for a separate statehood? The biggest reason might be cultural identity crisis. Just think about it. Because in order to safeguard their cultural identity, the sense of belongingness to a place, many groups have been asking for statehood. Now, political ambitions kept aside, whenever a group feels that their identity is in danger or there might be an influx of a major group which will override the identity or override the culture of a group, it causes a huge chaos in those minds, because any human being in order to live needs more than food, water and air. That is cultural identity, a sense of belongingness. So this might be the first region. This is the first region. Second is the economic backwardness, in the sense that they might feel in order for them to be belonging culturally, socially, they also need to be integrated economically. So they start building a clout through politics so that they might be involved into the social, economic fabric of a country. But because of the economic backwardness, they do not have the necessary platform to vent out their they do not have any chances to just tell the government that we need a scope to be included. So second would be that. Here I am joining with the economic perspective because it is very easy for a group to be radicalized when they do not have meaningful employment. If I pay, supposedly, this is a hypothetical situation, I am not actually paying. So if I pay a certain amount of money just to take up arms and attack somebody, they might do it because eventually it's for their economic prosperity. They might think that this is the easier way to go. So economic backwardness is the second reason, not for asking statehood, but for militancy. This is the first for statehood. Why do they ask for statehood? Second is for why they join the militant groups. So first, what do we need to do? Suppose I'm the government, what do I need to do? I need to make sure that they have the feeling that their cultural identity will be robust, it will be safe and secure. They will not go through anything that eventually corrodes their identity. Secondly, I would try to ensure that their political grievances, whatever sort of grievances are there, they are addressed in a proper manner. When we talk about militancy, it roots out from the economic causes, and that is because of the agrarian economy. The agrarian structure of the northeastern economy. Most of the people are involved in agriculture, and there is a distress not only in the northeastern region but also in most of the agricultural areas. If we see Odisha, if we see Jharkhand, if we see northeast, if we see right now, if we see Haryana and Maharashtra, why every sort of protest comes from a group which are majorly involved in the agrarian sectors, because there is structural problem that is there, chronically and deeply rooted in the agrarian sector. Okay, so all these are the reasons from your perspective of mains writing and also from the perspective of interview. Now let's move forward and talk about the demand. Now the demand actually began in the year 1960s, and that is along with other tribal sections of the undivided Assam. And the demand for full-fledged state, that is Dimaraji. Dimaraji, it gathered steam and it led to the start of the militancy. That is, this is the concept. This is the aim or the concept that we want a separate statehood, like the greater Nagalim of Nagaland. And the formation of the militant Dimasa National Security Force was done in the year 1991. Now, after that, a lot of revision was done and a lot of division and, of course, mutation were also done in the same group, because there were no matching of ideologies. Certain ideologies were different, and that is why there was a significant amount of divergences that led to the division of the group. How? The group surrendered in 1995. Now its commander-in-chief, that is Jewel Gorlosa, he broke away and formed the Dima Halam Deoga. Okay. After that also, Gorlosa broke away again, and then he formed the Dima Halam Deoga Jewel. Okay. And that is an armed wing. It had an armed wing by the name of Black Widow. In 2003, he actually got arrested in 2009. This was all done in 2003. And of course, in 2009, he was arrested and he signed a ceasefire agreement in 2012. After that, he joined the mainstream politics. Also, now if we talk about the Dima National Liberation Army, it is the newest or the latest group in militancy in Assam that was formed in 2019. And their aim is they are committed to revamp the national struggle and fight for the liberation of a sovereign, independent Dimasa nation. That means they want their separate nation. Also, their other fact that we need to keep in mind, their other vision was to develop a sense of brotherhood. Again, sense of belongingness, cultural identity among the Dimasa, and also to rebuild the trust and faith among the Dimasa society for regaining the Dimasa kingdom. And their main, how do they work? They worked through extortion and taxation. That means asking for money illegally and taxation. They also had the support from other militant groups such as NSCN Isak Muiva, the militant group of Nagaland, and their ideological support was given through that. So, this group came into limelight only recently when there was an alleged there was a group of DNLA who asked for money through extortion through certain truck drivers, but they couldn't give the extorted amount of money to the DNLA. So what happened? Now attack happened in Dima Hasao, and after that, not even a fortnight passed. In September, they signed an agreement. The significant members, along with Mushrang, signed an agreement that they wanted to join the mainstream politics. Certain other groups are still underground. That remains a challenge. 300 members still are underground. They have not come over ground to talk, but they will eventually, hopefully. Let's move forward and talk about the Dimasas. Who are they? Now, they are the earliest known rulers and settlers of Assam. Before the Ahoms, they belong to the medieval era of Assam from 13th to 16th century. Okay, 13th to 16th century. And now they are also belonging to the ethnic Kachari group. Now they are also known as the Kachari people or Dimasa. Okay, and right now they reside in Dima Hasao, Karbi Anglong, Kachar, Hojai and Nagaon districts of central, southern and states of Assam, as well as parts of Nagaland, as I have already told you. Also, if we talk about their extent here, with the help of this map, you can see this is the river Brahmaputra, okay? Right? And here we have the Ahom kingdom. Now, Dima group, Dimasas, they were not having a very good relations with the Ahom kingdoms, and there was a lot of turmoil. So when they moved from here and crossed Brahmaputra, they settled near this region, and that was known as the Kachari Kingdom. And they had their capital at Dimapur, that's in Nagaland, right? So they had their capital here, but now after that they also had their capital at Maibang, and that's in, of course, the North Kachar region. Okay, so when they crossed the river, now they came to be known as Dimasa, that is known as the sons of great river Dima, which is the Dhansiri river. Now many questions for geography can come from the Dhansiri river because it has been in the news. Also, the earliest historical known capital was Dimapur. I've already discussed that. Later Maibang in northern Kachar hills. And as we know that Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao, they both are protected under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. That means they are run by their autonomous district councils. Okay, let's move forward, and just to make sure that more pictures are included for better memory, this is a Dimasa woman, and this is the traditional dance by Dima. Okay, she's performing by Dima. They also speak the language Dimasa itself. Dimasa belongs to the group of Tibeto-Burma group. The language belongs to Tibeto-Burma group. Okay, keep this in mind. Let's move forward and talk about the significance of the move. First significance is the time. At this time, many insurgent groups are giving up their arms and they are joining the mainstream politics, which is sending a message to other militant groups as well that diplomacy can never be substituted by violence. And now, considering that they were the last active group as they were formed in 2019, their ideology could not be kept intact through the help of violence. It's a major reform. Actually, it's a major message, and it's a major milestone which diplomacy has achieved till now. That even if you're a very recent formed group, you can come and surrender if you want to vent out any grievance at the right platform. Let's move forward and talk about the way forward. Here, diplomacy gets more space and scope. Continuous diplomacy will help to increase their participation in the mainstream politics first. Secondly, it will help to have a more peaceful environment to eventually reach out to a conclusion about what is wrong with the current process what is wrong with the current setup and what can be done to improve that setup, right? Also, faith in the political fabric has been re-established. How the polity works, especially in the northeastern region, this has sent a great message to other northeastern states that if they are able to channelize their issues through the proper platform, other groups can also join. And that has reinstated the faith in the current political scenario. Better platform for grievance redressal other than militancy and shedding blood. Of course, violence has never been the way. We have already seen that in Afghanistan. Let's move forward and talk about our main-based question, okay? Critically analyze the developments with regard to Dima Hasao militancy. You have to write it in 150 words. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.